Welcome to the second day of the Flying Circus Summer Tournament. I am your host FlareBlitzed here, and let's see how things get along today with Misaki and Asuka participating in the second round and hopefully from there on third round, etc. Everyone's gathered under the blazing midsummer sun once more. Ugh. Everyone is tense and quietly whispering. This is something you tend to see on tournament days. You can hear the organisers getting everything set up and the players themselves preparing for their matches, which results in the atmosphere being a mixture of drowsiness and anticipation. I'm making my way past all the tents and stalls as a rather awkward mic test blares around me, and eventually, oh, good morning. Someone calls out to me from behind. Menino. Oh, hello there, and when I turn around I find Shirase-san's little sister, Minamo-chan, fidgeting around like a tiny squirrel. Morning, Minamo-chan. You here to lend your brother a hand? Yes, that's one reason, yes. Okay. It's a little weird that she is hesitating so much, but I guess she's always like this. Actually, I was just on my way to see your brother. Why don't we walk to his store together? Huh? Oh, yes, I'll tag along. Minamo-chan just stands there and doesn't move. Oh, sorry, I was waiting for you. Oh, I'm sorry. Don't be. The situation turns tense as we both wait for the right moment to start walking. Ugh, I need to say something to clear the air or we'll be stuck here all day. Oh, I know. His stall is over this way, yeah? It is. Minamo-chan hurries over to me with light steps. Okay, then let's go. Did something good happen to her this morning? She seems a lot happier than usual. Come to think of it, I never bothered to ask you. Did I? Do you play FC? Yes, I do. Minamo-chan pauses and suddenly casts her eyes down to the ground. Not. So you don't. Right. What a waste. You're in the perfect area for FC, and your brother would be a great coach. Sorry, do you maybe not like FC? Minamo-chan shakes her head left and right, which makes her hair bounce. No, I like it. I see. Why don't you play then? I immediately regret asking her that question. I mean, I'd hate if someone asked me that too. My bad. Forget I ever asked. No, it's okay. It's just too embarrassing. Don't force yourself to tell me if it's too embarrassing. No, that's not what I mean. Others seeing me flying is embarrassing. Oh, okay. So you think of yourself as being embarrassing while you're flying. She finds the thought of other people seeing her flying embarrassing. Huh? That reminds me. I think I've seen you over the sea before. Your form was great, and your skills look pretty polished too. Guess that makes sense, since you're Shirase-san's sister and all. What's wrong? How could you? Peep! Masaya-san, you... Oh my goodness sakes, even from such an innocent flower as this one, we're getting called that P word. I wasn't peeping. Honestly, I just saw you by chance. There's nothing about it. Minamo-chan giggles at that. I beg to differ. Is she teasing me? Look, you're on, okay? Okay. Minamo-chan nods while giggling. I bet you'd go pretty far with enough practice. But it's so embarrassing. I see. Yeah, that is a real problem. I mean, it'd be hard for her to push herself when her anxiety is getting the best of her. I get nervous in front of people I don't know. Hey Hinata, and here comes the energy that she fears the most. Minamo-chan jerks up in terror. She's startled by the voice that's calling out to me. Oh, you're with Shirase-san's little sister. Good morning. Huh? You know Minamo-chan? Yeah, I've been going over to the Shirasan store a lot lately to ask for help. I can see that. It did seem like they checked during the safety course. Okay, I need to go over there. Huh? Are you going to go see your brother? I can see him at home. Right, well, see you around. Bye. Minima-chan scampers off like a squirrel after bowing her head to me, and I simply gaze at her receding figure for a while before Prez talks to me. Are you a little sister killer? What? No, obviously not. Feel free to kill my sister if you know what I mean. No! We're not doing that! And besides, unlike Minamo, Midoko is not actually shy or hesitant. Yeah, no thanks. Anyway, it's good to see you here. I thought maybe he wouldn't show up after his loss yesterday, so I'm glad he seems to be in high spirits. As I look at him, I notice Prez puff up out his chest boldly. I may have lost in the first round, but it's my duty as club president to watch over my fellow members. Right. Oh hey, nice to see you, Masaya. Shirasa-san pokes his head out from behind Prez's shoulders. Huh? You two are together? I knew Prez mentioned frequently his store, but I'm surprised they're actually hanging out. Of course we are, it's only natural. We're two kindred spirits that have been internally linked by our love for muscles. Gross. Actually, I'm the one who wants to talk to him. About... Shirasa-san brings his lips to my ears. Guess this must be a secret. This stays between us, but they're planning a Superfly here next year. Superfly? You mean the long distance race? Yep. It's a sport that's popular on the west coast of America and the Philippines. And if you don't know where the Philippines is, it's Southeast Asia. It's a huge group of islands. Contests have to keep flying for 100 miles or 160 kilometers if you're into the metric system. No one plays that sport in Japan, but according to Shirasa-san, they're planning a race that will consist of one lap around Kyushu, and he's asking me to participate. I'd say that's right up your alley. Yeah, because it doesn't involve intercepting your opponent. It just goes into speed, okay? Long distance races have no real need for short agile movements. All that matters is the ability to maintain your form over a long period of time. His grab shoes are honestly a little freaky, so the way I see it, he'll do way better in a Superfly than a normal Skywalker. I mean, he's literally the only person I can think of who has Bowmans with a heavy speeder tuning. But with a race that long, the question becomes whether or not his stamina will last. Brawny people like him tend to build up lactic acid fast, which leads to fatigue. It'd be like making a sprinter run a marathon. Well, he'll have to cut the muscle stuff and do more cardio. Honestly, I don't mind giving that race a shot, but I have to say... What? Is it about muscles again? Prez looks up at the blue sky with squinted eyes. I have no regrets about yesterday's match. Makes sense. Regret doesn't suit Prez. However, I do have regrets. Say what? Don't misunderstand, I don't have regrets, but I do have regrets. What the hell is this line? I don't regret how my match turned out, but I have plenty of regrets when it comes to FC. Prez grins as he says that. That wasn't FC. Yeah, it was more like a contest of endurance, or a clash of wills even. True, he probably could have won that match if he just played things differently. And that's why, yeah? My time playing FC for our school is over, but I still don't want to stop. I'll participate in Superfly, but I refuse to cut my muscle training. I'm sorry, if only I'd have done a better job as your second. Don't apologise, it's my fault. I wasn't really playing to win, but you know, I feel like I'm finally ready to do that now. He flashes me a slightly dejected smile as he says that. I know this may be coming a little late, but I want to take FC seriously now. Thanks for helping me get there, Hinata. I'm happy to hear that. I think I still share some of the blame, since I failed to coach you properly, but I really appreciate what you just said. Wow, sure is nice to be young. What you guys is making me feel 20 again. I'll be cheering for everyone from here. Head on over if you need anything. You're not going to join us? Nah, I don't want to be a buzzkill. They just tried to console me since I lost my match, you know. Well, if you're sure... He's trying to be considerate here, so I shouldn't fight him. Okay, I'll see you later. Good luck, Hinata. Thanks. I'll walk away after saying that. The second round has officially begun. It's finally time for Misaki to face Shindo-san. Or... Shindoin. Oh, really? I thought it's Shatoin-san. Honestly, I think this is the most important match our club will have all tournament. I really want her to hold her own, but she'll need a good strategy to do that. In his match yesterday, Shindo-san completely overpowered a fighter in a dogfight even though he's an all-rounder. His opponent was a fighter but ignored the boys and played with him like a bird in a cage. Guy didn't even manage to make it past the second line. It ended in 11-0 victory for Shindo-san. Wait a minute. So... what? But Shindo-san had to go to the second line in order to make an attack. Something doesn't add up there. Surely the other person would have scored 1 point. Otherwise, that just doesn't make any sense. There's a clear difference in skill level for sure, but that's still a ridiculous gap. I hated watching that. Yeah, it seemed pretty brutal. And after winning that match. Quit getting all depressed, I swear you better cook up something special. I'll try. Man, it seems like his dogfighting's improved a ton since the training camp. Yep, back then he only ever got the upper hand with speed. I was way better than him in a straight dogfight. Unfortunately, it seems he's just as good as her now. Only way I can see Misaki beats him is if we come up with a plan he's never even imagined. Gonna do the impossible here to outmatch him. I'm guessing you just can't play as a speedist to surprise him, right? Hard pass. Then we'll have to beat on the one thing you're good at. Dogfights. It all comes back to that, huh? Yeah, seems like that's all you can do to win any match. She's a pure fighter, so we've got no other choice. Honestly, I bet Shindo-san wants to face you in a dogfight. Yesterday's match was probably his way of challenging Misaki. That's pretty bold. Shindo-san may look like a wuss, but he's got some guts. Of course, all the best players do. Otherwise, none of them would have made it through the harsh practice it takes to get good. And that comes with anything. I don't really like going up against ultra serious people. But you was exactly the same with a person that you viewed was the complete opposite end of the spectrum. There's no happy medium with you, Misaki. There really isn't. She doesn't like opponents that aren't scary or ones that are overly serious. What's left then? Exactly. I swear this girl's real hard to please. Who cares? Only thing you can do at this point is to go out there and win. Sure, coach. You know, I really want to get back at him for the training camp. Got any bright ideas? I noticed his aerial roll is a huge weakness. Oh? It's a maneuver where you dodge an opponent that's coming in from the side by spinning sideways. He was backed into a corner at one point yesterday and used that to dodge, but it was slow. His opponent couldn't deal with it, but I know you're more than fast enough. If you can get him in the same position, you can use that chance to score tons of points. What? Something wrong? I mean, you're basically telling me to put Shindo-san on the back foot. You don't have to outdo him or anything, just keep engaging him in a dogfight and you'll eventually get a chance to counter-attack. Players tend to be vulnerable right after launching an attack. The reason is simple, you have to lower your guard to actually focus on offense. If there's a massive difference in skill, then that chance is worthless, but that's not the case here. And because of that, There's no way Shindo-san can keep on attacking forever, especially not when he has limited stamina and has to be ready to defend at a moment's notice. Even if he does start to overwhelm Misaki, all she has to do is wait for an opening to strike. If Shindo-san tries an aerial roll, go all in. So basically I go for his back and touch him while he's doing an aerial roll? Yeah? The aerial roll is a move where you spin around the body's central axis, so it'll be hard to slow him down even if you touch him, but he'll be in a different flight mode that I can abuse. That's what you mean, right? Bingo! If you time it right, you can trap him in an aerial roll, which will give you the chance to keep scoring. It's not going to go that easy, is it? But you've got to put your heart into it. Probably not. Still, I think that's the only shot you've got at winning this match. Misaki sighs in exasperation. So I start by getting into a dogfight, even if that means letting him score some points, yeah? Exactly. You're only good at scoring in dogfights, so this plan suits you best. Alright, let's do this. Yeah, I can do this. That's the spirit. Listen, don't ever lose focus. Misaki can be pretty absent-minded at times. No wait, maybe it's more accurate to say she's quick to give up. I know. Oh, it's time to start. Well, here goes nothing. Ready for liftoff. You have a real shot at winning this if you can concentrate. You serious? Well, kinda. Only kinda? Misaki shoots me a cute smile as she says that. Thanks. I'll do my best. Good day to you, Tobisawa-san. So, you know, you should really take it easy on me. Sorry, I can't. This is the last time I get to participate in this tournament, so I need to leave everything on the field, otherwise I'll just regret it. Come at me then. I'm gonna bring my A game. Let's have a fun match. If that's how the match goes, sure. Stop your idle chat. I'm about to start the match, alright? Fine. Time to get started. Ready and waiting. Ready, set. I hear the sound of a whistle after a short pause. I feel like Shindo-san is going to completely annihilate us. But Misaki is no quitter. This music again. Shindo-san flies right towards second with the help of a low yo-yo. Misaki, on the other hand, jumps to the second line immediately. Remain calm and stop Shindo-san. I know. Of course, Shindo-san touches second to score the first point, then speeds up as he rushes down the line towards Misaki. And here he is. Huh? Suddenly, Misaki jerks upward. Huh? What the hell? And Shindo-san uses a chance to pass below her at terrifying speeds. Huh? Huh? Why'd she just let that happen? What the hell are you doing? That was your chance to stop him. Misaki's a fighter, so there's no way she's fast enough to chase him now. You would have stopped him if he didn't move. Misaki jumps to the third line as she starts talking to me. He got me good. I fell for his feint. A feint? Yeah, he jerked his shoulders up, which made me think he'd do a sudden climb. I tried to move up to stop him, but he used that to pass below me. How? That's impossible. He didn't slow down at all when he supposedly used that feint. Don't let him fool you again. Duh. And Shindo-san touches third right as Misaki positions herself on the third line. The score is now 0-2. No way you're passing me this time. But of course he takes a different maneuver this time. Huh? What? How? Huh? Shindo-san throws in a slightly curved horizontal zigzag while maintaining his speed, then uses a few easy-to-read feints that consist of him twisting his head in the opposite direction of his motion, and after that he begins his final motion, a sharp downward dive. Huh? Huh? Having fallen for all his feints, Misaki has completely lost her balance and Shindo-san effortlessly passes her about 4 meters to her side. Misaki's too slow to capture now, which means the score is effectively already 0-3. What? Why is this happening? Why is she falling for such simple feints? Oh. Damn it, this is all my fault. How did I not notice that his entire last match was a feint? Misaki, Shindo-san's not going to go for a dogfight. But what do you mean? He's pulling out all the stops here. The dogfight in his last match was a trap he set for us. Huh? He thought that far ahead? He sure did, and you're falling for his simple feints because you expected him to go for a dogfight. You might be right, but he might have also anticipated this. We kept assuming he was positioning himself to gain an advantage in a dogfight, but those were all just feints. Damn it! If only I figured it out right away. His speed didn't drop because he was only shifting his shoulders slightly. Misaki's a player who can quickly react to her opponent's actions, which is why she's really good at dogfights. She's a master of reading a person and acting accordingly. However, Shindo-san is using that against her. He's abusing her excellent reaction times by shifting around slightly and making her overreact. What should I do? Stay calm. You've still got time until he reaches the 4th line. Take a few deep breaths. Okay. Hu, ha, hu, ha. Ignore all his feints. Don't react to them. Easier said than done. Shindo-san hasn't been doing anything special. He's just advancing forward as fast as he can, and I bet that won't change. It worked twice already, so why give up now? No one in their right mind would give up on a successful strategy this soon. And Shindo-san is definitely a logical thinker. Wait, I'm a total moron. I knew all along that Shindo-san was someone ruled by logical thought, so why didn't I notice? There's no way an all-rounder would take on a fighter of Misaki's caliber in a dogfight. From now on, think of him as a speeder. He may be fast, but presses even faster. Just don't bite on his feints and you'll stop him in his tracks. Got it. Shindo-san touches 4th while Misaki is on her way to the 4th line. 0-3. Great. Again he's... Wait. Ow! She ends up falling for his feint yet again. Gets confusion from Shindo-san breaking past her twice is still affecting her. Well, that's hardly a surprise since Misaki lacks mental fortitude. What? No, I can still make it. She somehow manages to straighten her posture and extends her hand towards Shindo-san. What a posture. Ugh, so close. She almost touched his toes there, which is something at least. Grr. Don't go after him, Misaki. You can't catch up. Hurry up and jump to the 1st line. Fine. Misaki jumps to the 1st line. Shindo-san touches first. And that makes it 0-4. I didn't think this would be so one-sided. What a rough start. What now? Come on, how do I fix this? My body keeps reacting to his feints. Okay, I'm pretty sure this is against the rules, but close your eyes once you're in position on the 1st line. You want me to go in blind? You're reacting cause you see him twitch, right? Then all you have to do is not look and move exactly as I tell you. Don't open your eyes until I say so. Alright, don't mess us up, you hear? I'm counting on you. Shindo-san propels himself along the 1st line right as Misaki takes up her position on it. Just trust me. I already do. I fix my eyes on Shindo-san. Huh? Shindo-san has noticed that Misaki isn't reacting to his feints. Now! Open your eyes and fly towards your 9 at full speed. Roger. Misaki powers into Shindo-san from right below as he transitions from a climb to a descent during a zigzag. Eat this! And it wasn't a point, but it did throw him off course. Misaki's hand touched Shindo-san's chest, which results in him being repelled upwards. Nice job, Misaki. She managed to make him go flying off in the opposite direction. Must have cut his speed a great deal. Plus Misaki's recovery speed is faster because she's a fighter. And now, a fighter's spirit tends to crumble when they can't touch their opponent, but that also means actually touching them lights a fire under them. The idea that you can turn the tide and take control of a match is rather encouraging. Ah! Ooh! Misaki touches Shindo-san's chest again right as he begins to regain his balance. By doing that, she pushes him upward and slows him further. Misaki, this is your chance. Pass him and go for his back. Gotcha! Misaki uses the fast initial speed of a fighter to twist her body like a snake and slip behind Shindo-san. And score! Gotcha! Ka! She successfully touches Shindo-san's back despite his attempt to evade, and as a result, he's repelled back toward the last boy he touched. That's 1-4. Nice! Take this chance and keep scoring. Grav's shoes are an anti-gravity device, but that doesn't mean you're completely free from the influence of gravity. It still pulls on you, but shoes provide an opposing force to mostly counteract that. That's why you gain more speed when you're going down than when you're going up. And right now, Misaki is directly above Shindo-san, which I would think is a fighter's dream. She can reach him in an instant. Shindo-san, let's have a dogfight like in our training match. I prefer to avoid that. Shindo-san levels out with his back to the water surface, then spreads his arms and legs out to balance himself. That is a way to regain balance, but it also kills your speed. Shindo-san wants to do a reversal. No worries, I'll stay above him and block his path. A reversal is a maneuver where you slip right by an opponent that's coming in from above to steal the upper position. Wow. Shindo-san's neck and shoulders shift to the right from Misaki's perspective, which makes it apparent that he wants to pass by that side of her. Not on my watch. Misaki tilts her body to the right to get in his way, but obviously he goes to the left. Crap! Next thing I know, Shindo-san does a contortion roll, moving both his legs to her right side in the process. How do you like this? Shindo-san face, which was just on Misaki's right, suddenly moves to her left, and then he uses his legs as an anchor to straighten his body once more. Where'd he go? Misaki had been approaching him at high speeds, so it must have looked like he suddenly disappeared. Didn't you request a dogfight? Shindo-san slips past Misaki's left side right away, looms above her, and you gotta react. Look, coach, why did you not respond? He touches Misaki's back. That brings the score to 1-5. Damn it! Misaki's lack of self-control is killing her. An opponent who's attempting a reversal can't move very fast, so she should have approached him slowly. If she did, she wouldn't have fallen for his feint just now. But because she didn't think before she acted... Okay, I need to relax. No point crying over spilled milk. We've wanted a dogfight all along, so this works just fine. Shindo-san is off balance right now. Go get him. He touched Misaki's back while he was doing a reversal, which threw him away from her. And as a fighter, Misaki's recovery time is a lot quicker. My turn! Misaki charges towards Shindo-san as he floats above her. Nice! She's coming in from the side as she aims for his back. This is exactly where we wanted. Go, Misaki! Now's your chance! I know! Shindo-san tries to escape using an aerial roll, and having anticipated that, Misaki reacts accordingly. We can do this. We've got him on the ropes. We can beat Shindo-san. You're too slow. Wait, what? There's something off about Shindo-san's movements. Feels almost like he's letting Misaki... Sheesh! No, don't touch him! Huh? I didn't catch on fast enough. That's 2-5. Yeah, he used that to get... Yeah. he uses repellent force to get away. So even though he sacrificed himself a point there, he uses the force then to go to the next boy. Shindo-san completely ignores Misaki and uses the repellent force from her touch to enter a perfect flight form. Oh, that's right, she pushed him right toward the next boy. He used her to get a speed boost, and since Misaki's being thrown in the opposite direction, she has no chance of catching up. Damn it! I'm such an idiot. I suppressed the urge to toss my headset. How did I make such a rookie mistake? Shindo-san even told us he didn't want a dogfight, but I still let him trick me. The thought that he was trying to use her never even crossed my mind. Misaki, jump to the second line now. Don't lose focus. It's not over until it's over. I know. She sounds dead inside. And of course that would be that. In the end, Shindo-san scores 2 additional points through boy touches and the match ends with a score of 2-7. I thought she'd be depressed after her loss, but oddly enough, she looks happy. Did you go and thank Shindo-san and Shatuin-san for the match? Yep, told them I learned a lot too. Wait, what? How? Didn't expect her to say that. A light smile forms on Misaki's face as she begins to speak. I mean, I know he stomps me, but it wasn't really as bad as it looked. How exactly? Thing is, he got 4 free points early because I assumed he was going for a dogfight. If it wasn't for that, it would have been a lot closer. True. Plus, the whole reason I screwed up my offensive during his reversal and aerial roll was because I got too flustered. And that basically just comes down to my lack of experience, yeah? Right. Those mistakes could have been avoided. I'm also partially to blame too. Shindo-san's one of the best players in our country, right? Yeah, he is. Why? Well, I was just thinking I could probably reach that level with enough practice. Come on, have more confidence in your players. Why do you look so surprised? You do realise that means taking practice a lot... you do realise that means taking practice a lot more seriously, right? Misaki turns to look right at me with a dead serious expression on her face. I know, but that's how I feel right now. Got a problem with that? She smiles bashfully after saying that. A little while after my talk with Misaki, another Kunohama player brings up something even more surprising. I can't believe it! Asuka bobs her head up and down, looking beyond excited. I didn't expect to make it past the second round. Hey, congrats Asuka! That's right, Asuka actually managed to win her match. She got pretty lucky with her matchups, but it takes more than that to win 2 in a row exactly. Asuka's a total beginner who lost all her practice matches with our other club members, so this is a pleasant surprise. This isn't unusual, happens a lot when players start competing for the first time. What? You mean it's something like beginner's luck? No, I'm talking about people improving during matches. Huh? I've gotten better? You have. In the end, getting better is all about how you can learn and master. Veterans don't have as much left to learn, so they hardly improve through single matches. Sometimes, they even have to sweat blood and tears to learn one new thing. However, that isn't the case with rookies. Most beginners are rather raw, so they can learn a lot in such a short period of time. I can't really tell. Well, I'm sure you'll see during your match with Shindo-san. I turn to the side and see Shindo-san talking to his second, Shatuin-san. Shatuin-san lost to Misaki Inui, so her role as second is all she has left for the day. Yes. Seeing that match made me realise I was right about Prez having a shot at the title. Back when I first met Prez had just lost to Shatuin-san, but I can tell he's caught up to her by this point. Man, looking back at his match with Inui really hurts. I'm sure that match would have turned differently if Prez was more focused on winning. Anyway, she's pretty interesting. No, this isn't the time to be thinking about other players. I'm sure you know since you watched his match against Misaki and all, but Shindo-san is in peak condition. I'm sure he's going to do great. I'm really excited to see him play up close. Wow, that's a pretty unique reaction. Anyway, about our strategy. My opponent Shindo-san, so do I have any other choice other than just doing my best? Of course you don't. Still, your best probably isn't good enough. Hey, stop saying that! That's a real problem. He crushed his first round opponent. I'm scared the same thing might happen to Asuka. That's why we need to put him in a situation where you have the clear advantage. I see. And how do I do that exactly? In Misaki's case, we try to force him into a dogfight. But, to be honest, Asuka isn't better than Shindo-san in any way. The only thing I can think of is using her strong intuition. Sometimes, Asuka does stuff that she has no business knowing. However, no one can tell when that's going to happen. Yes! And that means it's not a good idea to base our strategy around it. Still, that's the only real weapon she has, so it'll have to do. You need to stick close to Shindo-san for as long as possible. Do you understand why? Asuka thinks things over for a while, looking visibly confused. Shindo-san's a speeder leaning all-rounder, so he'll go for the boys if I keep my distance. Isn't that right? Exactly. No matter how the match plays out, Asuka has to stay right by him if she wants to have a chance to win. But if you stick too close to him right from the start, it'll turn into a speed battle. And then he'd leave me in the dust. Glad you understand. Now, when the match starts, jump to the second line and wait for Shindo-san. Make no mistake though, unlike Misaki, you aren't going to try and stop him. Why not? Because I doubt you can. Right, my reflexes aren't as good as Misaki. I can see Shindo-san rushing right past me. And that's exactly why the plan is for you to fly close to Shindo-san for as long as possible. Something might happen if you do. Like, well, you know, something. Asuka nods a few times before she replies. I see. That sounds amazing. Glad you like the strategy. I'm sure either Shindo-san or Asuka would pull off something that surprises me. Ideally, we want Shindo-san to fall prey to the pressure and self-destruct. But it's better not to count on that. After you jump to the second line, get as close to second as you can and circle around above it. Circle at a higher altitude and wait, huh? Is that to help me maintain my speed? Sure is. Shindo-san should fly straight down the line, so make sure to stay slightly above him and off to the side. Why only slightly ahead? Because he's faster than you. Slightly ahead is just right. If you get too far ahead, you'll make it easier for him to shoot past you. Yes, because that means it gives him more time to react, and falling too far behind is a death sentence. Okay, slightly ahead is a perfect distance then, so what do you want me to do after that? What you can. And that would be... if you see a chance to go for his back, take it. You can also try to block his path or just touch him somewhere. You're telling me to just go all out, right? I gave her a confident nod in order to set her mind at ease. We just have to keep Shindo-san from taking control of the tempo. Do what you can to disrupt him. You can count on me. Oh, by the way, if you keep flying next to him until the end of the line, you'll miss the timing to jump to the next one, so make sure to listen carefully for my instructions. I will. I'm in your hands. The only point of jumping lines is to get ahead of your opponent. If you fail to do it fast enough, you're just letting your opponent keep the lead and score for free. Losing 2 points through regular means is one thing, but I'd like to avoid doing that because of a simple mistake. I get that I'm supposed to wait for him at a higher position than fly next to him, but what happens if things go wrong? What if it ends up like Mishira-chan's match with Shindo-san? Are you asking what to do if Shindo-san tries to engage in a dogfight? Yes, should I play along? Absolutely not. Shindo-san's good enough in dogfights to beat Misaki. You don't stand a chance against him. That's true, but I doubt I could get away from him either. You'll have to try. Running away is your only option at that point. You want me to run away? Yep, remember, you're trying to stick close to Shindo and San for as long as possible. Running away fits that objective just fine, so there's no shame in it. Remember, you are an all-rounder. You can play both styles, but you can't do the specific things that either one of them can do on their own. Roger. Good. Well, it's about time now. Get going. Okay, I promise to do my best out there, coach. Asuka flies off, heading straight toward first. If Shindo-san gets even a little flustered by Asuka, then one of her flashes of brilliance comes into play. I quietly exhale to calm my nerves. Maybe, just maybe, something might happen. I won't go as far as to say she can win. I'm getting a slight suspicion that she will win this, but maybe I should have told her that. Those magic words have the power to make you stronger than any opponent. I repeat them inside my mind. I'm impressed that you reached this point in your first tournament. I worked really hard. Watch out, I'm going to throw everything I have at you. Oh really? Then I guess I'll follow your lead. Great, thanks. I never expected Asuka to make it to the third round. It's positively shocking. Really, do you have to put a cat pun in there? Then again, I knew she had it in her. Really? Yes, really. Asuka-senpai is heading toward first. You can do it, Asuka-senpai. You can do it, Asuka. You can do it. You could at least try to sound more excited for her. Wow, everyone's all fired up. I hope she clobbers Shindo-san. Wouldn't it be great if he crashed into the water and got attacked by a fur seal? Why a fur seal? Well, a shark or an orca would be dangerous, but a seal would be funny. You sure about that? I've heard fur seals can be pretty aggressive. Yeah, like with anything if you get close to its babies. How about a flying fish then? That's a little too far on the opposite end of the spectrum. How about a salmon? That's my Misaki-senpai. Flying fish have pretty small mouths, so let's go with a salmon. You know, it's pretty amazing you can say that with a straight face. Yeah. What did Shindo-san do to deserve that? Did he touch on Puncher in the training camp or something? Of course not, this is obviously about Misaki-senpai. About me? I'm so mad. How dare he beat you? Shindo-san is a really insensitive person. Wouldn't beating him during his last tournament match been more insensitive though? Oh. Does that mean you lost to him to spare his feelings? Huh? Well, maybe, yeah. Wow, Misaki-senpai, you're so considerate. Well, there'll be nothing to hold me back in the fall tournament, so I'll go out there and win the whole thing. That's good to hear. I probably can't do much, but I'll do my best to support you. I'm just kidding. Still, with Shindo-san gone, I'm sure I'll place high. Oh, that match is starting. Go, Asuka-senpai! Asuka's jumping to the next line like I expected, but Shindo-san is way faster. I'm surprised since they're both all-rounders. Basically a perfectly normal start so far. Here's hoping she doesn't lose in a weird way and get all depressed. Asuka-chan is strong, so don't need to worry about that. Guess you're right. Go, go, you can do it, we're with you, Asuka-senpai! Right before Asuka reaches the second line, Shindo-san touches second. That's 0-1. Man, Shindo-san's recklessly fast for an all-rounder. If Asuka tried to get any closer to her boy, he might have stepped on the gas and rushed right past her. Well, this is where the real match begins. Asuka and I wait for Shindo-san to make a move with bated breath. Is he going to go for third or force a dogfight? Shindo-san glances up at Asuka and... after a second he rushes straight down the line. Hurry, Asuka! Got it, coach! Aha, Asuka approaches Shindo-san from diagonally above by using the force of gravity to speed up. I'll fly next to you for now. Next to me, huh? I'm not sure what your strategy is, but can you actually keep up? We'll see. Asuka flies along the same path as him when he continues to speed up. Luckily, she started flying when she was ahead of him, so there's still a gap between them. That means he can't overtake her that easily. From here on out, we'll have to rely on Asuka's inborn talent. I can't give her instructions on split-second decisions. Show us what you've got, Asuka. Huh? Shindo-san isn't picking up match speed. Or wait, is Asuka really is Asuka really fast? Huh? I've got no idea what he's thinking. But hey, if they keep flying at this speed, maybe Asuka can touch him. Why does I think that? Here I go. Asuka tilts her whole body and rapidly closes in on Shindo-san. Good choice. Huh? Huh? Shindo-san disappeared. Asuka should have touched his back, but he's not even in front of her anymore. But of course he would appear from behind. How? Shindo-san is currently flying in an upright position. He raised his body from the usual forward-leaning flight form, essentially hitting the brakes. What is he up to? Sure, he needed to shake Asuka, but slowing down like that put him at a disadvantage. Is he challenging her to a dogfight? Well, too bad, we're not going to take the bait. Asuka, go for third. Roger. Her going for the boy is technically against the rules, since she hasn't crossed his path or touched him yet. But I bet them flying near each other for so long is enough for the referee to let it slide. We'll need to take this chance to throw Shindo-san off his game, even if that means breaking some rules. Huh? Huh? He stomped the brakes mere moments ago, but somehow he still manages to zoom right up to Asuka. I told you I'd go all out, didn't I? For goodness sakes. Of course we'd do something like that, and he has that evil eye to him. Shindo-san touches her back as he says that. Huh? What? What? Asuka loses her balance as she plummets diagonally. That brought the score to 0-2. No way! That was a cobra. You raise your body to an upright position and spread your arms to brake, then reassume your previous form and accelerate hard. The move is named Cobra because of how similar it looks to a cobra spreading its hood to intimidate predators. Hold on. The Cobra is an advanced move. It's not something you'd expect to see in some amateur inter-school tournament. Messing up your posture and balance just a tiny bit is enough to result in a stall, which is why only pros use it. Trying it during a practice match is one thing, but he's actually busting it out here. What's happening? Coach, where's Shindo-san? Huh? Oh, Shindo-san is... Where is he? How did I lose sight of him? I'm only feigning as a second. Where is he? Where is he? He's right above you. Above me? He used repellent force from touching Asuka to prepare himself upward, essentially turning her into a stepping stone. You're a little too slow on the uptake. What the... Shindo-san repels Asuka toward the water right as she attempts to turn around. That doesn't score him a point, but... Water violently splashes in all directions as Asuka's grav shoes displace it. Was that a suicida? A suicida is a move where you stop your opponent by repelling them directly down into the water. It's a forceful move that generally employed by skywalkers who prefers to focus on power over speed. I can't believe managed to combine an incredibly technical move like the Cobra with such a violent one. I've never even seen pros do that. Contrary to my expectations, Shindo-san is the one pulling off crazy moves instead of Asuka. I thought I saw the full extent of his abilities during his match with Misaki, but of course he'll be pulling out all the stops. I was wrong. Shindo-san is in an entirely different league. I glance over to Shetoin-san to take in her reaction. She's just quietly looking up at the field. Doesn't seem like she's talking to him at all. Guess that means she knew he could pull that off. Could it be that he didn't take me seriously? He didn't have to use everything in his arsenal to beat me. He held back when we fought, but then why is he using all his cards against Asuka? That's what I'm thinking. Huh? Did you say something? It's hard to hear you over all the cheering. Yeah. That's gonna make her deflated in a way. Oh no, it's nothing. Nothing at all. Yeah, it's nothing. Huh? Well, if you say so. Whoa, she's in real trouble. Hang in there, Asuka-chan! Isn't pushing a person to the water in this game illegal? Because essentially you're getting electricity in water. Asuka, hang in there, we're with you! Give Shetoin-san a run for his money. Go, you can do it. Make Shetoin-san salmon fodder. Asuka, calm down and recover your balance. Okay. There's a considerable distance between them now. Shetoin-san is looking down on Asuka as she floats near the water's surface. Suicida is Spanish for yeah, of course. The move was given that name because of the way the player crashed into the water. Players who use Suicida usually keep charging their opponents to make them crash. Shetoin-san, however, apparently only used it to distance himself from Asuka. I would have gone for a dogfight if you recovered any slower, but I suppose this will have to make do. Gosh, he's scary. He says that, forms a faint smile and flies off toward first. Since he's on his way toward third while Asuka nears the water, he might even reach fourth before she makes it to the third line. And that would make it 0-4. Calm down. Keep it together, Masaya. I can't sound flustered right now. Asuka, take a deep breath. Okay. Who? Ha! Jump to the fourth line. We'll have to give up on the third one. Understood. That means we're letting him have 2 points, but it's the best option we have. Trying to chase him right now would just lower our chance of winning to 0. Asuka looks shocked as she makes her way over to the fourth line. What just happened to me? You were pushed down toward the water. No, before that, it looked like Shindo-san disappeared, but he somehow managed to reach my back. He used a maneuver that's called the Cobra. It's a move where you brake hard for a second to make your opponent pass you, then rapidly accelerate. How did you do that? It's a lot like an air kick turn. Main difference is an air kick turn makes you move in the opposite direction, while the Cobra allows you to continue down the same path. An air kick turn in the same direction, huh? Next time he does that, go for an air kick turn. That should counter him, since he'll be left behind when he uses the Cobra. Got it. Asuka hasn't mastered the air kick turn yet, but this is our only shot. There's nothing else she can do to get past Shetoin-san's Cobra. But Shetoin-san knows. Nothing else changes, okay? Just try to stick by Shetoin-san for as long as possible. Roger. Asuka ignores the third entirely and jumps to the fourth. And while she is circling close to the boy, it's 0-4. What are you planning there? He glances at Asuka, then starts to fly straight toward the next boy. This is just like on the second line. Asuka drops down from above with impeccable timing, then starts flying next to him. I won't let you shake me this time. I'm pretty fast. Think you can keep up? I'll try. Asuka follows Shindo-san as he begins to speed up. He throws in a short scissors and also a high yo-yo, but neither of those manage to throw her off. No wait, is he even trying to lose her? Seems more like he's getting her to focus on flying to me. I mean, he could have used a bunch of tricky maneuvers if shaking her was his only goal. What is he after? I tried to give Asuka some instructions, but stopped myself at the last moment. Wouldn't want to ruin her concentration. Shindo-san disappears from Asuka's view right when it looks like he's about to accelerate. This is it. This is the moment of truth. Asuka ends up ahead of Shindo-san, which gives her a chance to pull off our plan. Now! Got it! Asuka tucks her arms and legs in, clean up her body, then kicks her legs outward, straighten up her body, whole body with an air kick turn. In an instant, she shoots back towards Shindo-san. Is it just me? Or did Shindo-san smile faintly? There are some players who smile during matches. It happens because some people's facial muscles loosen when they're in a state of high concentration. Wait, he's focusing? Does that mean he isn't surprised? He predicted that would happen? Shindo-san proceeds to cut up his body, and then he maintains the posture needed for the cobra while pulling off another move. Huh? An air kick turn? Impossible. No way. He directly chained a cobra into an upward air kick turn without losing his balance at all. How? I'm getting goosebumps here. This is way harder than combining the cobra with a suicida. Chaining two high-speed maneuvers that move you in different directions is just... There's no doubt in my mind that he's far better than anyone else at this tournament. Asuka's now in the perfect position for Shindo-san, which makes her back's wide open. Here I go. Huh? Go where? Before that question escapes my lip. Asuka does a second air kick turn. Huh? She uses to fly straight into Shindo-san, who has been diving down to touch her back. Here I go. This again? What now? Asuka uses repellent force from their clash to repel another air kick turn. Then she stretches out her hand. Huh? I can't believe it. She actually got him. The score's now 1-4. Here I go. Okay, you gotta stop repetition, okay? Asuka uses recoil again in the exact same way. Gah! And she successfully touches Shindo-san's back for a second time. How is she doing this? What's happening here? She just scored on Shindo-san twice. I've never seen anyone chain air kick turns like that. Oh, it looks like she's going for another one. Unfortunately, her hand doesn't even reach Shindo-san this time. An air kick turn allows you to perform a high-speed quick turn because of the instantaneous membrane shift that's brought about by curling your body. In other words, it's based on changing the direction of an initial force. So just like how a pendulum eventually comes to a stop due to friction and air resistance, some force is lost with each directional change, which lowers the speed. And unfortunately, that third air kick turn slowed her down too much. Still, she did manage to score 2 points on Shindo-san. What now? Should we take advantage of his confusion and engage in a dogfight? Or wait, would it be better for her to go for the next boy instead? What's the correct decision here? You gotta make it quick! Both options feel right and wrong, which makes it hard to decide. Coach! Oh, Asuka, go at him. Doesn't matter where, just touch him. Got it. We won't get another chance like this. Shindo-san is probably startled by this turn of events. In situations like this, people tend to go on the defensive. A perfect example is how people react when a boulder comes running toward them. Running or jumping out of the way seems like the logical choice, but some people stand their ground. Why is that? Are they too scared to move? That's a possible explanation, but not the most common one. The truth is a lot stranger than you'd expect. When faced with a choice between evading or blocking an incoming object, your instincts will tell you to raise your ground. And with that in mind, Shindo-san should be focusing more on defense right now. Got you! Asuka managed to touch Shindo-san's leg. Kya! Shindo-san braced himself for her to attack in a weird way, so he's left spinning away with his wrist as he axes. Nice, it should take him a while to recover from that. Now's your chance. Okay. And another point. 3-4. That's 3-4. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Asuka Senpai is really amazing. Wow, oh my god. I don't even know what to say. I never thought she'd do so well. Come on, Misaki. Stop with those eyes. Stop only focusing on yourself and look at your friend right now. Look at how well she's doing. Is she actually gonna win? Asuka's gonna defeat Shindo-san. She will if this keeps up. Asuka's gonna beat Shindo-san. That's just... No, that's impossible. Oh, it's possible, right? She's really doing it. I'm sure she'll win at this point. No way. Asuka can't possibly. What do you think you're doing, President? You need to take control of this match before it's too late. I know that. If you do, then act accordingly. You would effectively betray everyone at Takafuji if you lose here. You sure are strict, Shatukan. I cannot stand it when strong Skywalkers like you with such a laid-back attitude fight like you mean it. Grasp victory by unleashing your true strength. The President I know will do everything in his power to win. You may have a point. Also, it's Shattuin. Okay, Shattuin-kan, you definitely have a point. Ah! Shindo-san, who has almost hit the water in an attempt to evade Asuka's attack, suddenly roars. Why did you flinch just there? His loud voice makes Asuka flinch. Ah! His second roar makes Asuka freeze up for a moment. People tend to get intimidated when they hear loud yelling. Don't stop now, Asuka! Huh? Keep moving! I never imagined Shindo-san was the type to roar loudly and openly display his passion and desire to win. I just assumed he was far more quiet and meek. Oh no! Kah! Shindo-san touches Asuka's shoulder as she's rooted in place, sending her flying off into the distance. She's currently spinning sideways due to his attack. Great. No! He recovers quicker than Asuka then touches her back. Crap, this is bad. Asuka's never fought in a match as anything like this. Makes sense, since no one's ever this intense in a practice match. Well, Prez always is, but that comes off as more of a joke than anything. Anyway, other than that, her only matches were in the first 2 rounds where she faced some below average opponents. Huh? I bet this is the first time she sees anything like this. His raw anger, passion and desire to win are hard to bear. Huh? What? Huh? She's overwhelmed by this technique that wasn't even specifically designed for FC. Though that's not to say it came from any other sport, you see. It's something far more primal than that humans have used since the Stone Age. Yes, Shindo-san intense emotions lock both of them into their roles. Namely the hunter and the hunted, Shindo-san and Asuka. Calm down. You're still fighting the same person. Nothing's changed. Okay. Asuka's voice is quivering until she replies. And one more. He makes up for the 3 points Asuka scored in line in no time. The score is now 3-6. I knew it. The gap between them was too wide. If only Asuka had more experience. No, I can't place the blame on her. This is my fault. I'm the one who sent her out there without preparing her for this scenario. I could have made her practice for this. It's not too late. I still have a chance to fix this. There must be some advice I can give her. Asuka, remember what you did when you practiced in the gym on that rainy day? Huh? Flip back and get behind him. But You can do it! Shindo-san's just mindlessly rushing at you, so now's your chance. Constantly roaring does tend to intimidate your opponent. However, it also makes you start seeing red. In other words, his strategies turned him into a frenzied berserker. and that's why Asuka still has a chance. You need to keep a cool head and outthink him. He's just acting on instinct now, so I'm sure you can do it. Got it, coach. He is charging straight toward Asuka's back once more. Go, Asuka. Okay. Unfortunately, things don't go accordingly to plan. Of course. When Asuka tries to spin backward and perform something akin to a backflip, Shindo-san breaks like when he was using the Cobra and raises his right hand. Oh dear, what the... Then he spikes Asuka like a volleyball. I didn't expect that, but honestly, it takes you too long to pull it off, which makes it predictable. It can't be. He was actually thinking straight despite all the roaring. Incredible. Is he some kind of kendo or judo athlete as well? Shindo-san keeps scoring point after point. Gah! Time keeps flowing as I find myself unable to provide any advice. What can we do? What can we do? That question keeps endlessly repeating inside my head, leaving me at a loss for words. All I really can do right now is gaze up at the field with clenched fists. Even though I hate this scenario, I'm forced to accept defeat as I watch Asuka get destroyed by Shindo-san. Eventually the whistle blows. 3-10. That's the final score. Ha 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 ha. I can hear Asuka panting heavily through the headset. Shindo-san. No. The strongest Skywalker of our generation, Kasunari Shindo, is looking down at us with a sneer on his face, seemingly mocking the exhausted Asuka. Is that all you can do? That's what he seems to be saying. Before I knew it, I tensed my shoulders to a point where they hurt. I don't know whether it's because Shindo-san is too tense or because Asuka is so frightened, but they both leave after a brief exchange of words. Asuka's form looks real shaky as she flies back to us. She must be pretty tired. I didn't do enough out there. That's not true. Listen, I doubt many other players here could have driven Shindo-san into a corner like that. I swear I'm not just trying to console her. She really surprised me out there. I'm amazed that she managed to make Shindo-san fight dirty. I didn't know a match could be that scary. Right. But it was also really fun. Wow, that's all she has to say after that loss. Man, this girl's one tough cookie. I was expecting her to feel kind of depressed. You're strong, Asuka. No way. I'm a total weakling. I need to get a lot stronger. If you say so. Let me know if you ever need any help. Great. Thank you, coach. I lost. Asuka-chan. Madoka rushes over to her. She calls out her name. Huh? And when she reached her, starts stroking Asuka's head. You're safe now. I promise. Are you alright? Were you scared? I'm fine. I was pretty scared out there, but I'm way past that already. How dare Shindo-san do that to an innocent girl? What a scumbag! That just shows how desperate he was to win. I mean, he won by 7 points, so he probably didn't need to go that far. You know, I couldn't even tell what he was doing during the second half of our match. Okay, we'll beat Shindo-san at the fall tournament. That's our club's new goal. He won't be there though, will he? You're forgetting that he's a senior. This is his last tournament, so we just lost our only chance to crush him. Oh, right. I'm glad both of you got to face him. Made for a valuable experience, right? Yes, I learned a lot while fighting Shindo-san. Misaki turns away with a sour look on her face. Something wrong? I guess it helped, but it's not like I'm playing FC to get a shot at dethroning him or anything. Well, that may be true, but... Well, wait, you're saying your goal is much higher than him, right? Does that mean Shindo-san's just a stepping stone in your eyes? Bingo. You're right on the money, Mishiro. Of course I am. I know you best, Misaki-senpai. Right. I'll just let the conversation end on that note, since it seems like Misaki doesn't want to talk about it. I really thought that Asuka with a prodigy-like nature could have come out on top there. Like a slim amount, but for goodness sakes, Shindo-san is beyond fearsome. Borderline insane. Well, we may be done with the summer tournament now, but you're not allowed to head home. Go watch the remaining matches instead. You can learn a lot from watching other people play. Got it. I'll keep my eyes peeled. Make sure to think of how you react to everything happening in the matches. You want me to figure out how I trick the people up there? No. Sure, why not? Take my words however you want. Anyway, I'm going to go report our results to Shirase-san and Miss Kagami. We'll be here watching, so take as much time as you need. Oh, hello. Greetings. She's not blonde. That hair is lime. A blonde girl who seems quite familiar trots over to me. Oh, don't forget, I'm Irina. She thrusts her face up to mine and gives me a wink as she says that. I do remember, I swear. You're Inui's second, Irina-san. Correct, I'm Irina-san. She's the second of the play who knocked Prez out in the first round. Wow, Inui's won all of her matches so far. Yes, one match with another, then she'll be number one. Inui has a similar playstyle to Prez, so the fact that she's gotten this far is a good sign for him. You're, person from first match. His name is Owegi. Oh yes, Inuegi-san. You're very good. Happy to hear that. Also, I saw a match just now. Very fun, very exciting, very interesting. This Kirishina-san. Oh, you talk about how she just fought Shindo-san. Yes, it's fun to watch. Amusing. Is amusing the right word here? Yes. Amusing, huh? Well, it's not really wrong, but I wouldn't exactly call it a good choice of words. Amusing isn't really a word you'd use to praise a match. They flying and bouncing around, rushing all over, almost like in a circus. What's Japanese word for circus? Circus is circus in Japanese as well, I think. That match was like circus. Both Skywalkers threw fancy moves left and right, making it fun. Still, it not real FC. Huh? It wasn't FC? What do you mean? Huh? She seemed surprised by my question. I'm just curious what we mean by not being real FC. Nothing seemed too out of ordinary out there. Well, other than the crazy moves each of them pulled off anyway. Is my Japanese wrong? No, that's not it. I just want to know why you don't consider Shido-san and Kirishina's match real FC. This time, Irina-san flashed a friendly smile. If gold is winning, flying around wildly not necessary. You're just focused on speed, aren't you? They were moving around like that because they're trying to win. Really? Yeah. They need air kick turns, cobras and suicidas to win? That what you mean? Well, are you trying to say they were pointless? Aren't they? She has a puzzled look on her face as she says that. I'm sure they used them because they were necessary. Both of them pulled out all the stops to win that match, which is rather admirable. Sure, they may have looked really fishy, but it's not like they were trying to put on a show or anything. She may not get that, but I know it to be true. It's very amusing. I see. However, it's also very different from FC I know. And what's your brand of FC like? I'm sure final match will turn out to be Shindo's versus Inui. You'll understand when you see. You'll understand true FC. This is why I don't like her and the first. They spill disaster for this sport. Right, True FC. Maybe I'm just being weird, but Irene-san's friendly smile seems really scary right now. I sure hope I'm just imagining things. No, you're not. You need to turn them in for cheating. I know everything, Masaya Hinata. I mean your time in Junior League. Huh? How'd you know that? I already look into all players of Inui's age. But I haven't played FC in years. Like I said, I do research. Why? Irina-san doesn't seem the least bit fazed by my question. I would love to see someone crush anyway. It can be you or one of kids you train. Either is fine. The girl is masochist. I'm sure she'd be overjoyed. What? She's a masochist? Why does that matter? She eagerly waited for someone to crush her. Anyway, is a very serious person after all. The corners of her lips curve into a smile as she backs away from me. What exactly do you want? Instead of answering, Irina-san directs a slightly awkward bow at me before turning away and walking away. What is she thinking? She talked a whole lot, so I'm not even sure where to begin. Though the thing that weighs most heavily on my mind is... True FC? Is she saying that outspeeding your opponent is True FC? That is one way to win, but it's not the only one. I wish those two were not in the game. She said I'd understand after watching Inui face Shindo-san. Well, she better make it to the grand finals now, or they'll both have egg on their face. Good day to you, Masaya Hinata. Oh, Shatuen-san, I'm sorry you lost your match. Inui went 15-0 against her. It was just like what happened with Prez's match. If a speeder managed to gain a slight lead, things will snowball so far out of control from there that it's almost impossible for their opponent to win. She is far better than me, that's all there is to it. I'm on my way to tell our club advisor that all our players have been knocked out. What are you up to? I'm out for a stroll. A stroll? Is now really the time? I mean, you're Shindo-san's second, right? He's a little on edge at the moment, so I decided to give him some space to calm down and clear his mind. I see. Guess I didn't need to remind her of her job. Was the person you were just talking to Shaki Inui's second? Yeah. Don't assume we're close or anything though. I only know her cause our president faced her in the first round. I understand. Shaki Inui sure is quite a strange Skywalker. Strange? In what way exactly? Let me think. She's like steel. Steel? If you bump into her carelessly, she will more than likely simply repel you. So she's kind of like an intimidating predator that scares you away before you can attack. I suppose that may be true, although that wasn't what I meant to point out. I simply meant to say that her style has been honed and perfected. You call that perfected? Seriously? I mean, yeah, she's really good, but perfect? That's a bit much. I'm not saying that her play is perfect or flawless, rather, the unique style that she has managed to master is what makes her such a fearsome foe. So, like her strategy as a speeder and all but fine-tuned technical aspects to her maneuvers. Yeah, that part of it, yes. Her style itself is comprised of many different aspects, from simple techniques to her overall game plan. I can tell Shatuin-san thinks Inui is something special. But why? She mentioned how her supposed unique style is comprised of a generalized game plan, plus individual techniques. But isn't that every style? How is she any different from the rest of us? What happened during your match that made you think Inui is special? I know this may sound strange, but it seemed like she was steering me. Steering you? Yes, she effortlessly made me play and move as she desired. In my mind I was making the best possible choices, but it never once worked to my advantage. Perhaps I'm wrong and that merely means her second is skilled, but that is not the impression I got. She was forced to play right into Inui's hand without even knowing it. Mind control? Does that mean her style revolves around manipulating her opponent? So what styles do you think would match up well against her? Well, I believe exceedingly skilled players like our president could outwit her, and also, yeah? Shattering Sand looks up at the playfield. Perfect timing. She might also have trouble dealing with players like the one who's going to participate in the upcoming match. Which one of them do you mean? There's a player from Shuri-san and one from Dogomora. The player from Dogomora. What the? Okay. She looks like she's just going to kill you apart by ripping your limbs off and all that. Her name is Kazumi. I suppose your lack of knowledge means you have yet to see her play. Kurobachi. I am pulling double duty as second and coach, so I missed some matches. Wow, she's got really long arms and legs. Players with a long reach have a clear advantage in most sports. Sure, sometimes a longer reach can work against you, but 9 times out of 10, it'll work in your favour. For example, in dogfights, you can reach your opponent from further away. Anyway, you're trying to say Inui isn't good at dealing with players who have a long reach? No, not that. I'm sure you understand once the match begins. I see the referee flying over to Kurobachi and whispering in her ear. I obviously can't tell what they're saying, but both of them seem tense. What's that all about? She constantly commits fouls, so the referee is most likely warning her. A player who fouls her opponent then. Does she get real rough in matches? I would say so, yes. Something about her playstyle makes me think she's irritated. Ready, set. Okay, the opening whistle resounds. Kurobachi tilts forward while spreading her arms out horizontally. Seems she's trying to use up more space on the line to mess with her opponent. This isn't really against the rules, but problem is, the floats on her flight suit are spread out in ways that block her opponent's path. The electric sound of repulsion echoes about as the Shindo player is thrown backward. Foul! I'm disqualifying Kazumi Kurobachi. The audience is going nuts. I can hear some people laughing, but it's obvious not because they find it funny. In fact, they seem more surprised than anything. And she is obviously irritated. Kazumi frowns her brow, flies toward referee, and unleashes a string of insults. You immediately touch your opponent after the match begins is against the rules, but the usual punishment is to subtract a point. This is the first time I see someone get disqualified for it. Isn't that a bit much? Shattering Sand turns to me with an impish smile on her face as she hears me say that. If it was her first offence, yes. Wait, you mean she's been doing this since the first round? She's doing it on purpose? That's the only possible explanation. After all, the way her floats moved was extremely unusual. How's she doing that? I don't know. Still, isn't that something you could practice? Why would you ever do that? Because I believe Misaki Inui would have trouble with a play like her. In other words, she probably can't handle a playstyle that focuses on drawing fouls. While I doubt there are many Skywalkers who would be good at dealing with it, but yes. Right, I mean, I doubt anyone practices what to do when they're fouled. That's part of the reason, but my main point is that she would probably have a hard time dealing with unconventional playstyles. After all, how could she steer someone she doesn't understand? Unconventional playstyles, huh? Not many of those around. Still, I strongly advise against foul play. Indeed, indeed, indeed. Agreed. Focusing on fouls is out of the question. Out of all your club members, I believe Masaya Asuka would do best against Misaki Inui. Wow, she must really respect Mashiro. Wait, that's not right. Well then, it's time for me to depart. Oh, sorry for taking up so much of your time. Please, there's no need to apologise. You helped me sort out my force, so now I know what to tell our president. Do your best to support him. That goes without saying. Farewell. Shattering-san gives me a graceful bow before leaving. Oh, Hinata, our club's done with this tournament, right? Yep, time to start preparing for the next one. I'm glad your eyes are already on the full tournament, Hinata. I'm a third year, so I have to retire. But I'll never quit FC. Feel free to ask me for anything you need. Thanks. I'll be sure to take you up on that offer. Man, I watched all of your matches, and I have to say they were great. Which ones? All of them, though. If I had to pick one, I'd go with Asuka-chan's match against Shindo. Yeah, watching them was enough to get my blood pumping. She lost control at the end there, but it's safe to say that was the best match of this tournament. Asuka-chan's turned out to be something really special. Yeah, and that's why I want to ask you for a favour. Oh? Well, I'm kind of afraid to say this. I feel like I'm pretty biased because we're so close. Are you talking about Asuka-chan? Yeah, is she, I mean, I've had this feeling for a while now. I'll stop for a moment and simplify my question. Is Asuka a prodigy? Of course she is. But how comes? Isn't it obvious? I never bring this up in Asuka's presence, but I guess I'm just worried it might be beginner's luck. I just can't shake the feeling that she's winning these matches by chance, you know. You're not letting her words convince you, you know. Asuka's a very inconsistent player. She's got really high highs and really low lows, so honestly it's hard for me to look at the results of that match and say she actually performed well. It's hard to tell how good she really is. You couldn't be more wrong, Masaya. What? Are you trying to say luck's also a skill? No. Nope. I want to tell you something a little more concrete. Please do. First, you have to buy a souvenir t-shirt. I'll buy one later, so don't just leave me hanging. I guess that's fine. Shirase-san turns around to Prez after saying that. Think you can run my store for a while? Gotcha. Make sure to help out Hinata. Can't promise anything, but that's the hope. After quietly muttering, now then, to himself, he starts to speak. Let's talk about the highlight of that match. Her consecutive air turn kicks. I mean, you didn't tell her to do that, right? Right, Asuka figured it out on her own. Dogfights are pretty dynamic, so it's hard for a second to micromanage their player. Plus, even if it was possible, too many instructions would just get in the way. Every split second counts in a close range air battle, which means Skywalkers can't afford to waste time in interpreting orders. Maybe those consecutive air kick turns were just a fluke. But then, what about her quick thinking? Oh, one little flash of insight is all it takes to turn the tides of an FC match, right? Especially with dogfights. Your physical ability is important, yeah, but what really matters is what you've got up here in the head. Yes! Shirase-san taps his own head as she says that. Understand? Basically saying Asuka's talent comes from her mental aptitude of FC, and that does explain why she has such a hard time learning to fly. She's always understood FC in theory, but she has a hard time getting her body to keep up with her mind. What do you think of Misaki's match? Don't tell her I said this, but I think Misaki-chan's boring. Boring? Didn't expect to hear that. Feel like my grasp on reality is slipping away from me. I was worried he was gonna trash Asuka, but I never expected him to say anything negative about Misaki. I mean, sure, Asuka has improved a lot over the course of this tournament, but Misaki's still way better than her. But she's our best player. What do you find boring exactly? Have you noticed? Misaki-chan relies too much on intuition. In fact, she and Asuka-chan are polar opposites. Oh, I get it. It's not like Misaki isn't thinking at all. It's just her reflexes are so good that she can skate by on them. You're saying Misaki should use her head more, yeah? Yeah, but that's easier said than done. Shiraki-san drops his shoulders in exhaustive fashion as he says that. She's not just going to learn to play differently in a matter of days. Well, listen, that holds true for just about everyone, so Misaki-chan's no exception. I get what you're trying to say. I can win most matches without thinking, so why bother? That's how most people would react. Sure, it may lead them to a dead end, but then they'd just try to use their body to get out, so nothing would change. Teaching someone to use their head is a tough job, and I bet Misaki-chan won't even be all that cooperative. Yeah, she'll definitely try to resist. Okay, so to sum everything up, Asuka-chan has the perfect mind for FC. She knows how to use her head in the heat of a moment to predict what the opponent will do next and plan out her action. Unfortunately, her body can't quite keep up. So what you're saying is, if you can combine Asuka-chan's head with Misaki's physique... Now that's a combination. Right. On the other hand, Misaki-chan hasn't trained her mind for FC. Everything she does is based on instinct and reflexes. She doesn't try to predict what her opponent will do or read into their actions in the slightest. Basically, she has nothing in the way of strategy. Asuka-chan just needs to develop her physical abilities, while Misaki-chan needs to change the way she thinks. Sarasha-san breathes a light sigh. In conclusion, I'd say it'll be a lot easier to draw out Asuka-chan's latent talent, especially because she's such a hard worker. With enough practice, she could go pro someday. You really believe that? I do. Asuka-chan will definitely surpass Misaki-chan once she gets comfortable in her own skin. You have that little faith in Misaki? Exactly. I'm sure she'll go far, but there's a limit to how good she can get when she relies only on her body. Shirazu-san shifts around a little as if this talking is making him feel uncomfortable. Getting her to finish in the top 4 of next year's tournament should be easy, but she won't go any further. Yeah, look, she has a lot of talent, but she's no prodigy. I wouldn't be surprised if she's already nearing her limit already. Thanks for the honesty. I know that couldn't have been easy, so what about Mishiro? She doesn't exactly have a playstyle yet, so it's hard to say, but one thing I know is that she seems real clever. It'll be up to you to help develop that, coach. I'll do what I can. If I were in your shoes, I'd focus on Misaki-chan instead of Asuka-chan. Huh? After everything you just said? Why? Because I prefer eccentric people over normal, straightforward people. Sure, Misaki is a little self-centered, but I wouldn't call her eccentric. Well, if someone like her keeps taking FC seriously and doesn't quit it, she will be. Man, you're pretty damn harsh. Hey, who knows, that might work out in your favor. Could help her grow. He says that in a non-Holland manner as he turns away from me. Welcome back, Messiah. Okay, folks, we're going to leave things off here. Thank you all so much for watching, and that was a bit of a crushing defeat there, especially when half of our players got defeated by the same opponent. The same horrific opponent. Thank you all so much for watching. See you all in the next time of Aokana. Have a lovely day and take care of yourselves.